even have a lighter to light my pillow. I had to light it on the candle. Good morning, afternoon, Sarah Richardson. Happy Tuesday. Always think of I alchemize by always thinking up. Today, I had a big appointment. They canceled. I was like, man. As soon as that happened, I felt this big push in me to talk some shit. Always think up style. You know, this is how I process the energies that are in me, right? So today is a lot of energy in the root, right? Yesterday the energy was a lot in the crown. Today it's in the root. Tomorrow it's gonna go up in the third eye, right? So sometimes, like these Mondays, Tuesdays, they can get a little intense sometimes, right? You know, the root. The root is the red. The root is at the base of the spine. The root is the roots. The root is the beliefs. The root is the safety. The root is the security. The root is the patterns. The root is the ancestors. The root is the secrets. The root is the shadows, right? It's not really such a great time for people. These days you start to see your patterns. You start to, become aware of them. That's not always such a good time. And so I like to share with you guys kind of what I go through to see what I mean about its energy, frequency, and vibration. It's not really so much the people, the places, and the things, right? It's the energy in the lessons. It's the energy in the day and how that energy in the day rolls with you in your day, right? So, it doesn't come up to hurt you. It comes up so you can sort it out and alchemize it out within you, right? So, lately I've been feeling this really deep push to want to collaborate, right? With like-minded individuals, people I can vibe with. That stuff feels really good, right? And different things along my path have really pushed that idea, that inspiration in my life, right? And it excites me. But then there's also like that in me, right? And then on top of that, hi love. I'm going through some of my pretty deep emotions right now. I think right now the emotions for people are really like churning, right? So I'm going through all kind of that stuff, right? But it's weird because like the stuff that I'm going through in that is kind of like feeding the collaboration part, right? The collaboration of my passion, my desires. Oh my God, the music is really loud. Can't hear a word. Love your face too. I told you guys I'm wearing this sweatshirt every day. I've been feeling like this. Like, I'm trying to like really connect inside of me. And so sometimes when you're really trying to connect inside of you, you could really get in like a shut the fuck up place. Like, I just don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear anything right now, right? And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Because I've been feeling that, and I share that with you because that's okay. So, I'm going through some deep emotions about not really trusting people, right? And so at one side of me, I have this side that's so excited and wants to collaborate, right? But then I have this other side of me where I'm like, oh my gosh, like every time I put myself out there, every time I put myself in, I got hurt, right? It's crazy how it works. So, I knew that I felt that in the energy, so I knew that I shouldn't do anything, right? So I was all right with that. But still, not really, because I really want to collaborate, but then I really don't trust it, right? You know, so I go into all that. I go in really deep to all that. And so by going in deep, what do I mean? Like, I write it out. You know what I mean? Like, I want to collaborate and I don't know how to trust. Like, I see the good that I've created. I see the opposite of what I came from, and you know, wanted the things I wanted to change. I see that I've done that, but there's still this piece of me that's like, I really don't trust it, right? And I just know, and it's funny, you know, how things come up. You know, I just know it's an old belief system of mine, right? I know it's an old pattern of mine. I know it's deep in my root, right? And I know it's something that I want to change, right? I don't really know how. You know, I don't really know how to maneuver it. I don't really know how to do it. So what do? I spend a lot of time with my paper. I spend a lot of time with my vibes. I spend a lot of time telling people, shut the fuck up. I'm going in. You have to stay out because I have to go in for a second. When my root doesn't feel secure, when my foundation doesn't feel solid, I am no good to anybody out here, right? I have to go in and make my base secure. And it's not a big, bad, tough guy thing. It's not like, oh yeah, I don't need that, you know. No. It's like my base and my roots are my responsibility. That's it, right? And that's really a big awareness that a lot of people have to come to, because I still hear a lot of people saying, oh well, them, and I'm like, okay, but what about you? Because every single time that something happens to me, it's me. What about me in this? What is going on about me in this? Why do I give a fuck about this, right? You have to go deep inside of yourself. Ask yourself questions. Ask questions. So, you know, what this root time is fears. It's like fears on a dish. It's like all the fears that you had specifically on the dish, right? And people are like, what the fuck do I do with this? I don't even know what to do with this. That's okay, right? Because it is happening and it is coming up. And no matter how much you try to avoid it and stay away from it, it's coming. It came right to my house. It always comes right to my house. It's cold outside, so it was in the house, but you know, usually I can try to keep it on the porch, but it was in my house. It happens, right? It happens. We're creating these things in our lives by our fears and our roots. When we keep believing these false premises, these faulty foundations, we keep recreating that. And sometimes we don't even realize that there are belief systems. Like, are deeply embedded, ingrained in our DNA, in every single cell and fiber in our body, in us. And it's crazy how time plays out and things play out, right? Like, I had to really sit with myself till I realized, like, I created this whole thing. The whole thing. Facing fears is a bitch. I give so much love to all of you out here who are facing your fears. Whether you think it's really little or you think it's really big, it's big, it's huge, it's big, huge, right? Because this is what we need to do. The shadow work isn't some big, bad, dark dragon, although it can feel like that sometimes, right? The shadow work is really getting inside of yourself and really facing your fears. Really becoming aware of what you are fearful of. How do you operate when you are fearful of something? How are you responding? How are you reacting? How are you living? How does it affect your routine? How does it affect your foundation? Facing fears is very hard. There's a lot in the hips, right? So how could you help yourself when you're facing your fears? You could stretch your hips extra. that will help to release the energy. You can stretch your body. That will help to move it and release it out of you. You can listen to vibrations, you can eat good food, you can put on good music, you can go to a comedy show, you can meet up with some good friends. There's a million things you could do when you're facing your fears, right? But one of the big things about facing fears is feeling so damn foolish, right? So that's what the root will do. When the root stuff comes up, it's like you feel foolish about these things. The stuff in the root you feel foolish about, and sometimes they're not even your shit. It's crazy, right? You know, when you're facing your fears and when you're feeling foolish, you know, that kind of like fries you out. When you're facing your fears, you can get like exhausted. You know what I mean? When you're facing your fears, that's energy work. That's working with the energy in your body. The fearful energy in your body, you're working with that. You're trying to breathe love into that. You're trying to release that and put that out of you. That's what we're doing. It's all energy, right? So it's fear energy or it's love energy. That's it. Some of them seem like they're so meaningful. Some of the fears, they really do. And then we see them and see them and see them and see them and see them. And we don't even realize that we are doing that, right? Until we do realize. And then when we realize, we feel fucking foolish. You know, to me, the collaborations that I want, you know, I want to connect with like-minded individuals. I want to connect with people that are on a vibration like me, right? I love to meet people's passions and desires and creations and see them thrive in that space, right? That fires me up. I love, you know, if somebody's on a mission like me and they're like-minded like me, they want to spread love all out in the world, right? That's what I want. I want like a team. You know, I want it to be amazing. I see it amazing. I feel it amazing. And you know, creating your life is like really deep. You know what I mean? Because you kind of get like the rough draft and then you kind of go back in and fill it in and kind of fine tune that down, right? You're painting your life, what you want for your life. And it's beautiful. Yet when you're in these fears and when you're in these dark situations, it doesn't feel so beautiful. But then as you learn, when you come back up out of it, you do feel more beautiful. You do feel more sexy. You do feel more connected to another side of you that you haven't really been associating with. Because what happens is a lot of us don't associate with our roots. We disassociate from our roots. So, you know, it's like the kid who's like, I'm never going to be like my parents. And then they go out and they just motherfuck shit. Because you can't. There's a lot of good in there too. I know it feels funky and I know it feels fearful, but there's also a lot of good in there too. I promise you. You know, my heart wants to collaborate with people, right? So I talk to a lot of people all the time and I always say to them, what is in your heart? What does your heart desire, right? And they get very frustrated with me and I get frustrated with my own self. So we just laugh and have a moment with that, right? My heart wants to connect. My heart wants to go and share these things with the world. You know what I mean? I want to bring others into my visions so much. Because when I'm by myself, when the distractions are all blacked out of my life, I see it so clear, you know what I mean? And then a distraction will come in and kind of get you for a minute, then another one, you know, and then next thing you know, you got this whole entire distraction wall in front of you and you're like, whoa, where am I? Let me get back to myself. Shut the fuck up for a minute. I need a minute to myself. You know, my great girlfriend, I love her. I love Teresa, right? She really is one of the realest that I've met out here. You know, she messaged me the other day that one of my old YouTube videos had come up for her. And, you know, doing these videos is so crazy. Like, you know, I never wanted to do them. My armpits still sweat when I do them, right? It's just like a whole entire journey in itself. You know, if you do them, right? Um, but she made mention to me that maybe I should go back and watch my old videos. And so, as soon as I turned it on, I was like, oh my God, right? This is me looking at myself, right? Um, but you know, she helped me. She said a couple things before I did. So, you know, there were a couple moments in it where I was like, and then there were a couple of moments in it where I was like, oh yeah, shit, right? But you know, the basic thing that I got from that is, you know, 6 years ago, whatever, whenever I started doing my videos, I was so filled up. I was so filled up. I was so ready for the world, you know, and lately I've been feeling like tied up, you know, not as trusting as I was. I've been feeling kind of like stuck, right? And so that brought me a lot of awareness. So I don't know if you guys have like old pictures or videos or things like that. You know, it really gave me a lot of awareness that I wasn't really sure, didn't really know that I was going to get, right? You know, and it really reminded me that I have connected to a lot of really great people along the way, and I'm very thankful for it. So like what I was actually going through in my physical realm was like, you know, these little fucking bitches being grimy and nasty and sneaky, right? But when I went and watched these videos, when I talked to Teresa, when I went and watched these videos, I really did start to remember all of the love that I had attracted along the way too. All of the real genuine people that I have attracted along the way too. Um, you know, and right now I'm at a place where my foundation is feeling a little weak today. 111. I love you. It's not a good feeling when your foundation feels weak. You know, when your root feels weak, the rest of you feels weak. I love you. You know, the root is the real. The real. So yeah, we can go off into imagination land and we can create all these things, right? But we also have to get real. We always have to be real with ourselves in our situations. And I know, how do you think I get the message about keep it real if I ain't keeping it real with my own self? With my own self. You know, a lot of people have been talking about the truth and the lies and the truth and the lies and the truth and the lies and what is what. Looking for some sort of outside validation to the truth and the lies. There's never, probably ever going to be an outside thing to the truth and the lies out here in this life. It's all in the vibration. That's what I named this video. The truth and the lies, it's all in the vibration. Some people, you know, even though I have so many people that I love and adore, that have loved me and helped me and been with me and went through things with me, and I've done that for them, and it's been a wonderful thing, right? I've had a lot of that along the way. But some folks out here are nasty as fuck. That's what I've been in. Be out here tee-heeing, all in your face, wishing you harm when they go close their doors because they're jealous or envious of somebody else. Trying to be you when you've been trying to teach them and help them how to come out of what hurt them. You can't ever be someone else. You are you. Your root, when you go into your root, you will figure it out that you are you. You are here for your purpose, what you're supposed to do here. Just because Mary's good at selling teacups does not mean go buy some teacups and try to be her. Do you? That's real. Don't start talking like me and acting like me and being like me. That's not real. Telling you this, doing you that. That's not real. Sneaky, sneaky fuck shit. What is that? Where do they do that at? Some people really are nasty. Guys, I'm telling you, it comes from the hurt inside of them. It comes from the root of them, right? No, we don't have to fuck with it. Or we can for too long and fuck around for too long, right? There's no right way, right? But I'm just telling you that these nasty motherfuckers out here, these mean ass motherfuckers who are hurting people on purpose, intentionally, it never works out for them. It never works out for them. It all comes back around. If somebody is being nasty to you, one of the hardest things to do, number one, is let God handle it. Hey, can I get a amen? Right? Because you don't want God to handle it. You want to handle it sometimes right now. But we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. That's how you know that it triggered some fire in you, right? That's how you know that it's the universe trying to get your attention for some shit that's going on in you. It's for you. It's in you. It's about you. Why do you give a fuck, right? That's what you have to do in this root. In this root, when you are in your root with yourself, these are the things that you have to do. So I've been having to, go through some nasty experiences. Recent. With some nasty folks. Tee-heeing in my face. Trying to be me. And then the whole time while this is all going on, right? My human just wants to build my shit. You know what I mean? My human just wants to build my shit, my collaborations with my like-minded people, with my passions and with my desires, right? But I got all this shit coming in and fuzzing up my porch, my house, coming in, right? And what is this? How do you explain it? Oh, they seem so nice. Tee-hee. Some people are nasty. And they're the ones with the biggest smiles in your face. Oh, they love you so much. And then it's funny because, like, the ones that do the spells on you, they'll tell you how they did spells on other people. And then when they say that to me, I'm like, oh, bitch, you do. Word up. Because the only spell I'm putting out here is for the highest and greatest good for all. So if you're on some other shit, I don't fuck with it. And I know a lot of people that get scared by these dumb witch bitches. These nasty as fuck witch bitches. These broken in their fucking sex and root witch bitches. Operating from fear. No. It's not gonna work anymore. You will burn your own self the fuck up setting a spell on me, bitch. Your car will blow up setting a spell on me, bitch. Like, what are you even saying? And the fact that somebody would intentionally sit down and do a ritual to harm another, that means that they absolutely do not know how to stay in their own motherfucking lane. Get it together, ho. Get the fuck out of here. So, this is why you got to keep yourself fucking heavily protected. Because a lot of these nasty as fuck dumb witch bitches out here, they're out here. They got time. They got time for this shit. Because they don't worry about their fucking self. So busy trying to be you, they don't even wash their ass. Out here trying to keep up. Tee-hee. Bitch, bye. See? And I still want to collaborate. And I still know I have great people out here to collaborate. Even though I just been through this. People are fucking nasty. You know it. You see it. You hear about it. They tell you about it. You see it for yourself, right? Oh, but you want to be all big-hearted and love bug. Da-da-da-da. Fuck that. I had to say fuck that. Bitch, bye. Miss me with the tee-hee. And it was hard for me. Now I'm okay. Because I had to cry it out a little bit. Like, I love this person who was nasty as fuck to me. Sneaky as fuck to me. Tee-heeing in my motherfucking face. We can't control other people. So, you know, this is another topic that's been coming up a lot, right? So, people who get kind of let down when other people don't treat them the way that they treat others, right? And I get it, man. I fucking love all of you who open up and talk about this stuff, because this is what needs to be brought up. This is what needs to start being talked about, right? Not all this, them trying to fucking cast spells on somebody, bitch. If you're gonna do something for the fucking good and get the fuck out of my face. Wonder why all your shit falls flat on its fucking face all the time, but you can't learn your fucking lesson. Bitch, bye. I'm feeling like a thug today. For sure. I love you guys. I love you guys. And I'm telling you straight up and down, I really do. Because I am so sick of these nasty ass fuckers coming and getting up in my space. And I'm so sick of my heart for being so fucking kind to these bitches. And that's real. And then you breathe and you be so thankful for the real motherfuckers. The shut the fuck up motherfuckers. Thank you, man. We cannot control others, period. Never. Ever. 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 Right? Never. Not our friends, not our work, not our family, not our kids, we cannot be out here trying to control. But when you get into the mode of trying to control, it's because something is going on in your root where you don't feel safe and secure, so you need control. We have the authority over us, right? What does that mean, right? We have the authority over who comes into our life, over who we trust, over who we interact with, over who we help, over who we give to, over who we let in, and all of it, right? That has been a real realization for me. Through all this doo-doo, I realize I do have the control in my life. I do. And I really do need to work on my false premises in my root, because I really do want to collaborate with great folks. And when you don't trust, you keep making more situations that prove that you shouldn't trust. So when you just say, everybody shut the fuck up, let me get back here, let me get myself back together, then I can build my trust back up in the love that flows through me, that's teaching me, that's guiding me, that's helping me. We can control our hearts though, right? So what just happened to me, you know, it just put me, I just like went through it, right? But I have a loyal heart. I have a loyal heart to my girlfriends. I have a loyal heart to my guy friends. I have a loyal heart to my boyfriend. I have a loyal heart to my work. I have a loyal heart to every single one of my clients. I have a loyal heart to all these kids that come up and talk to me, right? I have a loyal heart. But the root work that this day is like, okay, so if you have such a loyal heart, why the fuck are you attracting these nasty as fuck folks? She takes a drink of her coffee. We have the authority over who we fuck with and what we fuck with and what we spend our time thinking about and what we eat and what we listen to and where we go and how we run our days and our mornings and our nights and our weekends. And sometimes just having the vibration of another person in that area can disrupt your natural flow. Right? So we can't control them at all. But we have the authority of how much we let them affect us. And I'm proud of myself. Because instead of dragging it out, I just did it quick. You know, standards and boundaries. You know, when I sit down with what I'm trying to create, right? In all that I've been through since I started my video journey, you know, I had to up my standards. I had to up my boundaries steadily, continuously. It never, ever stopped. Even all the way just to a couple days ago, yesterday, today, right? And what happened is, like, I got to the place where I want to protect my heart, right? So I got all shut off from everything, and I got into this defense mode, right? I can get real disrespectful in that defense mode. I love your truth. Thank you. I love you. And I hope this really does make sense. You know, but I have to learn how to keep myself protected, but also be in a place that's going to still let love in and not be so cold-hearted, right? I can't let these nasty motherfuckers make me cold-hearted. Then I'll be just like that. Pointless, right? I can't feed into that energy too much, but I have to get in it to nurture it, right? That's real. You don't want to feed this nasty fucking energy. You do not. However, you do have to visit it. You do have to spend a little time with it. You do have to learn ways to nurture that for you. In you, with all the other stuff you have, right? That's the authority that we have over ourselves. That's, you know, you have a responsibility to yourself. So, you know, if you're like me, Mrs. Captain Save the World, right? I also have a deep responsibility to myself, to my passions, to my desires. You know, and I still do want to collaborate. That's a big desire for me. You know, and sometimes bitches ain't shit. Some of these bitches ain't shit. Some are, though. Some are. You know, and it's funny because I hear a lot of people always like bitching about like relationships. Let me fill my coffee. You know, and to me, my journey really hasn't been so much about that. But it has been, right? Because it's about my relationships with these bitches. And how I love some of these bitches, but some of these bitches ain't shit. This don't got nothing to do. So for all the people in the back, you're trying to watch what's going on with me. This don't got nothing to do with a man. This is a bitch. And she already fucking knew better. I do not understand it. But this energy, this nasty as fuck energy, will try you. Hey, girl, hoping to say hey. Mwah, I love you, girl. You know, I just got done saying some of these bitches ain't shit, but some are, and you are. I love you. I love you, you know, and that's the thing. Some of these bitches really ain't shit, and they're out here, and they're tee-heeing in your face, and they're trying to steal your ideas, and they're jealous of your stuff, and they just bring a nasty energy, right? And I felt this energy for a long time, but I wanted to love the shit out of it. I just wanted to squeeze the love straight out of it, right? It didn't work like that. It didn't work like that. I love you. I love you for being real in my life. I love you for being a real woman in my life. Thank you. This is what I mean, guys. So at the same time, when all these emotions are going on and I'm feeling like I can't really trust these bitches, somebody pops on to remind me that I can trust some of them. And for that, I am thankful. For just that message right there, to me, is how God shows up and out in my life. in my root, in my fears. That's it. Simple. Everybody wants these big fucking fireworks like you did it. Sometimes it's just XOXO, hey girl. I didn't even know you didn't trust bitches right now. Oh, you know, you're amazing. You're amazing. Because this nasty bitch, this little dark magic witch bitch casting spells, that shit's real. It's real. You have to put a protection up. Talk to God about what kind of protection to put up or whatever the fuck, right? Because these nasty bitches are real and they got time. They know I kick them in the fucking neck. She already knows. I do not fuck around. I'm all about love. But I'm real as fuck. And you know, that's a funny thing. She hit me with, oh, love and light. I'm going to put up a DM. I'm not going to send any more energy from here, but love and light, right? Bitch, miss me with the bullshit. Yeah, burn some sage, girl. Yeah, I've been burning Palo. It's deep, girl. She was in my house. It's deep. My daughter loves her. It's hella deep. This root will bring up some stuff, ma'am. Yep. And like I said, you know, we have the authority of what we let in our lives. You do, I do. Energy vampires, yes, they live off of this shit. So, you know, if we don't learn how to talk about it in healthy ways, right, we're just steady feeding these bitches. That's it. That's it. You know, as soon as I sat down after this bitch did how she did me, God was like, don't feed this bitch. That's how God talks to me, though. I don't know. We have the authority in our lives to go visit our roots, who we let in our lives, who we let in on our visions, who we let in on our work, who we let into our homes, who we let into our hearts. And sometimes in making those choices, you will turn around and end up sitting there feeling foolish. Like me. It's all good. We're learning together. You know, it's the flawed premises. It's the fake foundation. The false base. That's why it never works out. Because you really have to get deep in your roots whenever you're doing your soul's purpose and all this other shit. And everyone's like, ooh, she looks like she makes a little bit of money. Let me do what she does. But do you know how many years I put into what I do? How many hours? How many notebooks? How many pens? I don't even understand it. How the fuck do you think you're going to? It's lazy. It's somebody who doesn't know themselves. It's somebody who doesn't stop. You know, when I approached her with what I approached her with, she blocked me off. Because she can't take the truth. That's a fear inside of her. That's been a fear inside of her. I know that. You know, it's the fear, the shame, the guilt, the shadows, right? Nobody likes to talk about that stuff. And heaven forbid, when I bring it up, I'm a fucking demon. To all of you. You know, there are very few people that can really take when someone is talking about the shadows of themselves. We need to get more comfortable with this together. That's why I took this message that God gave me and broke it down into like a really personal lesson of what I'm recently going through in the energy that's real. You know, and like I said, when we have these fears in our belief systems, in our roots, when we have these shameful things in our roots, when we have this guilt in our roots, when we have these shadows in our roots that have never really been nurtured, right? What happens is we end up thinking about it so much that we attract unwanted evidence. We prove it right. That's what I just did. Because for real, she don't matter. I just prove right what was a fear inside of me. Because it was a fear inside of me that kind of coincided with the other fears that were kind of rolling around and trying me. That kind of coincided with that, because that's how it works. Energy, frequency, vibration does not fucking make sense, right? The lessons do not fucking make sense. Everybody thinks that God and spirituality and learning about yourself is going to come in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. It's in your emotions. It's in your beliefs. It's in your safety. How you feel. How do you feel? You know, we do this. I just did it. I just did it. What do you do? I just did it. Felt foolish. What do you do? You know, because when you're thinking about the false beliefs, right? They're thinking on an autopilot thing. So like you get this blessing. Normally this is how it happens, right? You get this blessing. It seems like such a blessing. And then all of a sudden that triggers the false belief system inside of you, right? And so then what? Then you think on the fears, on the shame, on the guilt, on the stuff, on the secrets, on the fears, on the shame, on the guilt, and the secrets. Now, slowly but surely, there's like evidence all around you that these fears and shames and guilts and secrets, it's all coming true, right? But we're creating that. I know, man. Woo! I think I'm having a really weak time right now because I'm really having to go back into my foundation and really clean up my foundation, right? So like from where I came from a couple days ago to where I am now, we're good. You know what I'm saying? But we still have some stuff we have to do. But all that thinking builds that energy in whatever energy body that thinking is coming from, right? And so then what does that do? Like that breaks you down. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you're about to bust. You feel like you're about to break. You feel like you don't got it together, right? So what do we do with that? What do we do at that moment, right? Whenever you're just thinking, you feel like you're going to bust. You have to do something else. You have to do something else. Thank you, Jesus, right? She's not even on here, right? But she put up a post right whenever I was doing this message. Move your rooms around. Move your furniture around. Write it out. The weakness, the desire, the fear. Thank you, Boo. Thank you for the reminder, Boo. So before I did this video, I went and moved some furniture around. And then I moved it right back to the same spot it started from because I wasn't really feeling it. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to revisit it, right? But you have to move that energy around in your body. Or, I mean, not. You can just sit still with it. Not say anything. I needed that reminder today because I needed to move that energy in my body. I didn't want to be stuck in that place, right? And I have the authority in my life where I get stuck, right? The fears are going to come up regardless. And that's funny because I think that spirit, like, yeah, you do. You get stuck in your throat sometimes. And that is a lesson I've been learning through all of this. It's like when I feel disrespected, my mouth gets very disrespectful. Bless it. Spirit. You know, I'm so grateful again for the people that I love in my life, for the people that are genuine in my life, for the people that it's just so easy of a vibration, so easy of a flow. You know, so genuine. Thank you. Because lately what I've been going through is like this whole fake friends, nasty as fuck shit. This only coming around you and tee-heeing in your face to try to take your ideas and then try to leave you fucking on the floor. You want to come around and be you. That's a bad feeling, man. I need unique individuals around me. Because I do want to collaborate. And like each person in the collaboration has a different thing that they do and add and bring and have, you know, that's the greatest part. So this time taught me to be more intentional. with all these things that were going around with what I don't want, I really had to like ignore all that shit and then really focus on what I did want and be more intentional on that. I like to turn on the 528. You know, our emotions fire our creations, fire the things that we bring to this world, bring to our lives, right? So when your emotions are too heavy in one spot, you really do need to learn how to focus them somewhere else. And this has been another really deep lesson to me for like the past couple months, right? And like I always say, I fucking feel like I know better, right? But you're always getting reminders of things like there's so much stuff, so you fall off along the way and you have to, certain things really worked and you have to like pick them back up, right? You know, because when you focus on something else, and if you focus on something you love and you desire, it's easier, right? And so all of a sudden that calms that fire, that feeling like you want to kick somebody in the fucking neck in the name of love, right? Because you're switching the vibration internally by focusing externally different. So, you know, it's okay if you're in a fiery emotional state, right? Just adjust your vibration by what you're focusing on. What are you focusing on in that time where you're feeling like you're in that fiery state? And it's crazy because, like, when you're in that fiery state and sometimes you tune in to, like, love, it feels like maybe you shouldn't, or maybe you don't deserve it, or stuff like that. That's all in the root, right? That's all the programming of the root. That it was in all of everybody, that is still in us, right? But we're doing the damn thing. So we get more specific. We get more specific with what we tolerate and don't. We get more specific about what we want to create and what we don't want to create anymore. What we want to do and what we don't want to do anymore. So that's what's good and beautiful about these times. These times when things seem like they're going all wrong and you really aren't sure who you can trust and all of those things, right? It's helping you to be more specific. But you can't look out for that. You have to go in for that. You know, making fiery decisions. I can't tell you how many people have messaged me today, you know, while I'm going through my own fiery decisions about fiery decisions, right? And if they did it or didn't do it, right? And I'm like, it's all good, man. I didn't pass the test. I was like, fuck you in the name of love. Shut the fuck up in the name of love. I failed. But, you know, jump back on that horse when it comes in. We're working. I'm still a little bit quick. You know what I mean? I love you. Have a good day at work, my love. You know, when you're working on your feelings, when you're working on your emotions, what you're doing is you're harnessing that inner fire. You're starting to learn how to harness that inner fire, how to work with it, how to nurture it, how to get it to work for the highest and greatest good for you and all, right? Because we are really consistently creating our lives from that fire, right? And you don't understand the fire until you understand the root of the fire. 396 hertz. But I like the 528 because I feel like it's like a middle point. It's a little bit easier on the whole system. We need to learn to nurture our emotions, the feelings, the fire. We need to learn to harness that because that's why people are wilding out. I could easily, the other day, see why people are wilding the fuck out because I really do stay in my own lane and I just got hornswoggled. 528. You know, this hornswoggle reminded me that for like the past 7 months, I haven't listened to the 528 really, just a couple times here and there. Turning on the 528 was like, oh shit, you better map out your plan. Boom. Oh shit. My plan, my desire is my map of my plan. It's what I help people with. My plan is my passion. Because it works for me. It feels good to me. There are phases to my plan. 144 had to go deep in me. I had to develop systems to keep my passions intact. That's in my plan. Wow. It's so crazy that sometimes when some nasty person comes into your life or does something nasty to you in your life and you push back from it and you sit in with it, what God shows you, what love shows you, what it reminds you. This is all together. Patience through all of that. We really were meant to enjoy this journey that we're on. Are you enjoying your journey? For the most part, I am. You know, it's like 80-20. Some of it is really hard. And I think the 20% is when I into the roots. It's hard sometimes, man. It's okay. And it's okay that I really haven't been okay lately. Like, you can say, you know what I mean? I said, you're meant to enjoy the journey. Are you enjoying the journey? It's okay to say, I'm not really enjoying the journey. That's real. Those are the people that are fucking sexy to me. Because those are the people that are ready to take their bag of bullshit and learn how to sort through that. So if you have enough guts to come out and say, I'm not really okay, that's huge. And you're saying I'm not really okay from a place of, I don't expect anyone to fix it. I'm just not okay and I don't know what to do. That's huge. That's the truth. That's fucking sexy. All this big guy, tough guy, nasty guy, jealous, envious, whatever the fuck. That's not it. That's not it, man. You tell on your fucking selves. Accepting all of the feelings, it feels really wild, right? So, you know, and all these feelings that I just went through, I wanted to love, I wanted to fight, I wanted to say, I wanted to not say, I wanted to throw it all away, I wanted to come back and get the stuff that I forgot, I wanted to sleep, I wanted to hit the punching bag, I wanted to give up, I wanted to try harder, I wanted to shut off, I wanted to collaborate, right? Make sense of that. That's what I was trying to do. Sometimes you can't really make sense of your emotions. As one comes up, you just have to nurture it. So, okay, I want to sleep. All right, you need to sleep. You've been burning yourself energetically. I want to say, but then I don't want to say. Okay. Then I finally said, did I say too fast? There's no right way. There's no right way. Emotions are really wild. 2 o'clock. You know, and being vulnerable and being vulnerable about your root, that is really sexy to me. You know, that really is like one of my favorite things about my friendships. You know, my very best friend, you know, has helped me with root work so much without even the name of root work. Just by really going inside of me and the things that I felt foolish about in me, like showing me that when I do finally expose them and reveal them, like that's part of my sexy, right? I had to find that in me first before I could come out here and be talking about it. So then somebody who wants to be like you wants to be envious, then they want to take your words and be like, oh, it's sexy to go in your roots. I had to find that in me first. Meanwhile, they're a mess. That's what's happening. We really do think, feel, and talk up this life that we have. What are you feeding? Are you catching the test? Are you catching the lessons? Are you catching the signs? Certain things we can be good at, certain things we're not that good at. That's how it rolls. We're integrating the darkness and the light in us, and it's wild. It brings some doo-doo up. It's constant. It comes in waves. It goes out in waves. Doubt, unhappiness, pessimism, workaholic, breakdowns. Don't feel joy. Don't feel happiness. Don't feel peace. It's dark. Dark truths, dark secrets, dark lies. Dark, 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 dark. But not only did we survive it so far. If you're watching me, woo woo, right? Our ancestors survived it in a sense, right? The darkness. But, you know, what happens, like I said earlier, is if you don't learn to go inside of your root and to nurture the hurt, you are really never going to be able to go in there and honor the strength that is also in there. Because inside your root is fear and love, hurt and strength. And we had some endurant ass ancestors. You know, all the things that we are doing is playing out an energy from that. If we don't face it, sit with it, learn to nurture it, learn to get with it, right? Learn to tell other people to shut the fuck up for a minute. You know, because we do need to learn how to honor that of which we came from, because that is where you came from. Without that, you would not be you. Thanks. Can I get a hello? Our roots are a piece of us. Our belief systems are a piece of us. You know, if you grew up and you didn't feel safe and secure, that is a fucking piece of you. If you grew up and felt a bunch of shame, that is a piece of you. If you grew up and felt unsafe, that is a piece of you that you need to learn how to nurture. And it's tough, man. But if you don't do that, life is always going to feel fake to you. You know, it's kind of like, and it's funny because this came up the other day too. So it's kind of like, you know, when you did something that made you feel foolish and you can go out and kind of roast yourself, right? That's what simmers it down. That's what is comparable to this for me, right? So, you know, when you make a mistake and then you're up in the rap battle and you go ahead and do a song about everything that made you feel foolish, what the fuck else are they gonna say? And that's kind of how we integrate the dark and the light within us. You know, a lot of things that come from the root, they don't make sense. They're weird. They're sneaky. And people want to pass that down and be all love and light. Miss me. Miss me. How you gonna do me dirty and wish me happiness? What? Cheers, bruh. Thought there'd be tacos. You can only attract and keep what you appreciate. So, like, these bitches who are trying to be nasty and mimic you and take your stuff, they'll never keep it. They'll never have your essence, and they'll never keep it because they don't really fully appreciate that of what it is. Nobody could ever do my work and appreciate it as much as I do because all of it is so deep to me. You can take all the classes I took, you can do all the stuff, but like your journey's going to be deep to you in a whole different way. It's deep to me. The appreciation of my knee surgeries, the appreciation of 10 years down in my teenage 20 years, right? That's deep. That came from a lot of time with myself, a lot of time in my root, a lot of time in my notebooks, a lot of time telling everybody shut the fuck up. You know, guys, so if I can give any advice, you know, I know that it's really normal to go into the doo-doo, go into the root, go into the patterns, go into the secrets, you know, for those things to come up and get kind of scooped up into our lives, right? So on a good day, when you're having a good day, when you're having a good vibration day where you feel like you're up, right? Write down on a little piece of paper, Post-it note or whatever, 5 feel-good questions. Like, what did it feel like when I did this? Or what did it feel like when I went here? What did it feel like when I did that, right? Because what happens is when you're in the doo-doo, and I said when you're in the doo-doo and then you can focus on something else, you want to focus on something that you love and you desire and stuff like that. So put that in these feel-good questions, right? Because that's going to help. But what it's going to do is it's going to lift you to a higher vibration, right? So as soon as you lift to a higher vibration, some of those things beneath that vibration kind of diminish off, right? It's weird. But what that will do is that will open you up to like get more into your intuition from the doo-doo, right? Get more into what you desire from this thing that's going on in your life right now. Allowing solutions to come up. That's what I had to do. I had to get to a good feeling space to lift my vibration to then have the solution come up with how I was going to deal with this. And I did. I dealt with it, some of it very the same, some of it very different, right? But we aren't stuck. That's what I learned. I wasn't stuck. I wasn't tied up. I wasn't stuck. You're not stuck either. Some of the energy right now can have you questioning a lot of things in your life, right? When you have questions, take some time, sit with it. Like Shiza said, write your questions, write your weaknesses, write your desires, write out your fears, write out your passions, write out your joys. A lot of people don't even realize what they want. And then if you realized it and then you went along the path for so long, like I told you that I needed the reminder, you need the reminder sometimes. But you already know. Just like I do. That we're like on this in-between. The old and the new. The light and the dark. Trying to navigate this bitch, right? Give love and stay strong, right? That's what we're trying to do out here. Soften up, but still go after your passions hard, right? Protect ourselves, but collaborate and step out. And things are coming to the porch. I love you guys. If things are coming to the porch, they're coming to the porch for you. Just like they came to mine. And then sometimes you have to scrap it all and start over. But it is good. You know, I used to never speak my voice and I used to just really ignore it. And I'm not gonna. You know, instead of arguing with the lies, I just said, miss me. Miss me with the teehees. Love, light, and happiness, but you're being sneaky in my life. Because you don't know your own root. I love you guys. That sneaky energy is coming up. Does anyone want a card? Because it can't fuck with you. Hey, love. I was talking about some wild shit today. The truth and the lies. Some sneaky. Sneaky. You know, I was just talking today, girl, that today's the root. And so on a day of the root, a lot of stuff comes up, you know, from our belief systems and our, you know, programming and stuff like that. And it can be a really hard day. Could be a really hard day, these Tuesdays sometimes. But it's all good because I'm telling you guys, there truly is strength. There's strength in our roots too. You know, where we came from, our ancestors, you know, it's funny because, you know, people think of where they come from. They're like, oh yeah, I'm so proud. And then people think of shadow work and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, they think it's like this terrible thing. But like, when you go into the root, like you really do, like I didn't never know where I came from. And by going in and spending time in my root with myself, I went from not knowing where I came from to still not know where I come from, but I'm proud of where I come from. Even though there's a lot of hurt in there. Because that makes me who I am. That makes me sexy. That makes me beautiful. You know, these fears in you, these shadows in you, coming out and roasting yourself. It's beautiful. It truly is. It really, truly is. So many people are walking around out here living these fake lives because they don't visit the shadows of themselves. Because they don't visit their belief systems that are holding them back from their best life. Because they don't revisit how these belief systems, they don't even realize that they're there, but they're running their whole entire experience. Whether it's girlfriends, guy friends, relationships, like kids, parents at the park, whatever, man. It's in the shadows of you. It's in the secrets in you. It's in the shame, the fear, the guilt, the bad feeling things. When we learn to nurture those bad feeling things inside of us, the ignored, the abandoned, the, you know, all of those terrible, terrible things that everyone has felt, right? You know, we learned that from that that gave us a passion. That gave us a purpose. That gave us a desire. That gave us something to focus on that's going to lift our vibration out of the fucking water. Like, really, people are amazing. And I'm telling you that these nasty people that are out here are just hurt people. I swear to you. I swear to you. You know, I wanted to kick this woman in the neck. I really did. Until I really realized that she's just hurt. She's just hurt. So what? I'm going to kick her in the neck and hurt her some more and prove that her fear is real. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let love handle it however love needs to handle it. I've done my dirt out here in my time. What she is doing is not any of my business. I just know it's nasty and I just disassociated. And you can do that. And you can do that. And sometimes with these big giant hearts that we have, a lot of people really fight themselves in that disassociation from the nasty. And you need to do that. You need to respect yourself. You need to set the boundaries. You need to take responsibility. Because we can't control how other people are going to treat us. However, when we learn about how they're set up, we can control whether they're in here or not. Does anybody want a card? These cards are from Maji the Priestess, and I fucking love her. Super duper much. You know, she's always empowering people. And that's what I want in my circle. You know, yeah, we're going to touch down on some real things. People are fucking nasty out here. It's not all love and light and rainbows. However, we can do what we need to do with that. For sure. You know, we don't need to get tied up into that. You know, when you mess with people who connect to God for answers and guidance and all that stuff, bad things happen to you. Spell work. Told you. I just said in my reading that these bitches are casting spells. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. So, you know, I know a lot of people get freaked out about this very thing, right? And I don't get freaked out about it. I actually have a new show coming up with Rachel. And we're talking about conspiracy theories, right? And so, yes, people will do spell work on you. And spell work is just this dumb bitch sitting here talking shit up out her fucking mouth about you, right? It doesn't even have to be like a ritual or whatever. But it can go all the way from some dumb bitch talking some dumb shit to some crazy ass fucking ritual that they took like 5 hours of their day for, right? Definitely. So, my advice to you is... armor up. Armor up with God. That's what I do for these bitches. That's what I do. They try me. But they know that I know. I'm telling you. You have to protect yourself. If you want to walk around here and act like there is no evil in this world, like there ain't no nasty as fuck bitches out here doing some nasty as fuck grimy shit, tee-heeing in your face, you ain't in your root. Because the root is the reality of what's really popping on this planet. I used to want to avoid that shit too. Ooh! You will regret messing with a chosen one. Let me put that up there. I fucking love you, Maji. What'd I just say? Some of us are out here really putting in time to really do what's right with this energy out here. And some of us are really out here being nasty as fuck to these ones. It never works out good. It never works out good. Like, I'm not a witch. I'm not any of those things, right? But I'm here to tell you that every single time that someone came in and did me dirty and did me nasty, they got theirs. I didn't have to do anything. You can't. It doesn't work like that. That's how I look at these bitches. So there's some people running around here like, oh my God, they're casting spells on me. And I'm like, fuck you, bitch. I bind your tongue in the name of love so that you can no longer do that work. Then maybe all tongue-tied, stuttering up somewhere. Get the fuck out of here. Love always wins. You ain't. They do it for manipulation. They do it because they're jealous. It's weird. Spend time alone, hermit. What did I say? Tell everybody, shut the fuck up. I need to go in by myself. These things are coming up. These lessons are coming in. I'm not catching the message. So, you know, it's feeling chaotic. My root is feeling off. I have to go in by myself for a little bit. And if you love me, you will honor that. Black sheep. You know, this has always been in me, guys. I didn't really fit in to anybody when I was little. You know, I didn't really start fitting into myself until I started to be alone with myself. You know, and I was forced to be alone. Some of us have evil family members, right? And that's in the root. And you got to go in there. And you got to realize that sometimes the evil, the nasty that you attract on the outside of you is coming from the evil family members that are in the lineage that we are disassociated with and disconnected from because we feel foolish for that problem, that mistake or whatever that they made. So we don't know how to nurture it. So we don't know how to care about it. We don't know how to do it. And then that affects our lives. It's time to shine. It's time to shine, guys. It's time to really go in and visit these roots of you and really let yourself come out here. Roast yourself, God's ambassador. I love my fucking people, man. I love my people. Really, I seriously do. And I know this shit's weird, and I know talking in energy is weird, but I hope you guys can feel what I mean. You know, it's all about our energy. It's all about our vibration. It's all about our internal frequency. And your internal frequency runs off of your root. That's like the main hub, right? So if you have fear and shame and guilt and all of those things in your frequency, you know, it's never going to stay solid. Like, yeah, you can go out with the laws of attraction and you can try this, but it's never going to stay solid. Psychic attacks. Fuck them bitches. It's happening, though. It's happening. And it's weird how it happens and how it infiltrates your mind suddenly. Guard yourself up. I just did a big thing on my house and everything. Earth angel, healer. Maybe you're here for something more. You know, I thought I was here to be a barber and to do all those things. And here I am doing some whole other shit. You know, and it was hard to go through that transition. Maybe you're there. Maybe you're going through some sort of transition right now. And you're feeling in between. You have the gift of courage. You have the guts. You know, and that's the 528. That's the guts. I love your fucking guts. The cleaning out your guts, the superfood. You have the courage inside of you. Remain calm at this time. You know, when that fire is coming in and when that fire is turning out inside of you, one of the hardest things for me is to stay calm. Ancient divine blood. It's way bigger than what we see, guys. It's way bigger. You know, the spiritual war that people are talking about and everything. And, you know, it's big. It is really big. You know, and sometimes these nasty as fuck people, they have really great souls. And they're just all covered up in this nasty as fuck. And you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Go spend time with yours. Go spend time with your nasty as fuck. Learn how to nurture what's coming up for you that feels nasty as fuck. You know, if you want to talk about it, I'm here for you. I appreciate the courage to talk about these things, because the only way that we are really going to change the things on the planet is if we really face what's inside of us, because it's inside of you. You know, whoever you don't trust, whatever you don't trust, whatever, you know, doesn't make you feel safe. If you keep thinking about that, you're going to create that as a reality to prove that that is right. I'm not safe. When that is not the truth. I love you because we're all connected. Don't be afraid to say shut the fuck up sometimes.